the democratic model, which is maybe more time-consuming, but at the end is better for the people, and this is what I strongly believe in. Okay.
Thank you very much. Now time has come to ask managers and business people what they think about it. Maybe we'll start with Mr. De Porres.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, Ambassador. I would like just to mention that in a world in which, especially the banking service, in which the only certain thing really is uncertainty, as our economist tends to say, just the known unknowns is the only thing we're certain of. There has to be a new category of leaders that and are emerging in many industries, which their key value, in my view, is their capacity to create new knowledge, to transmit it to the whole organization, to integrate it in the whole organization, and to express it outside the organization in the form of products, services. This is for sure an extreme contrast with organizations of the past, in which many, see the faces, many of us has made our careers, where hierarchical or pyramidal structure of boxes and lines was the most important thing, in which the division of work was the key driver, and where in this uncertainty, that this is not a new thing, was coped via certitude, risk taken. You know, work is divided. You take care of this, you take care of that, and that was the only way of minimizing risk and managing uncertainty. In my case, I have had the pleasure of working many years for a very strong leader in the Spanish business community, Mr. Emilio Botín, our CEO, Chairman CEO, who passed away September last year. Always the most relevant, probably, personality in the Spanish business in the past, I would say, 25 years, 30 years, in which we all heard of his wisdom taking decisions that I want to have, because he was really someone who had really an allure to employees that kept has left in us a lot of spirit. He used to say of himself, he used to talk about himself saying, well, you know, sometimes there's a bank in which, you know, people say they take too many decisions, but really, I just take maybe 90% of the decisions, but 100% of the important ones. So, which was, and I must say that at least in the, I don't know, in the 90% part of the decision, but in the 100% of the important ones, he was always right. So to that organization, obviously today we need to confront new challenges, new situations in this super modern world in which everything passes away so quickly. The key managers are the ones that can detect in their organizations what's going on new, who has a really good idea, and put it in practice in the rest of the organization. These are the true leaders that will I think, triumph and make their organizations. And I want to put up a very small example. We invested, for example, for a lot of years in a customer relationship management system, you know, to trade with our clients in a logiciel, as the French say. No, it's in a very, very advanced way, providing all the information to the bank manager so he could deal with the clients very quickly. And we spent tons of millions of dollars or euros in that development, while at the same time, part of our bank in Argentina, where the means and the capex is quite small, there was a small team of IT managers that was developing their own CRM, practically working off hours and at home and having ideas. And with an investment of less than, I would say, $10,000, $20,000, they put the idea that finally ended up in today, we're implementing in the whole bank. Well, I want to say that the leader of the organization that really detected that and could extend that to the rest of the organizations is the leaders that we need today. The other way is the sure way. Investing tons of millions is the sure way. The one that took that decision, that's the important one. That's the leaders that we need. So just to end up saying that we need to have leaders that ensure the transfer of this knowledge inside the organization, that renew the organization and integrate it in this sense. And how could possibly, and the third thing is, how could this possibly happen in our bank with 180,000 employees with presence in 52 countries? That something developed by a small number of guys ended up as being the CRM system for the whole bank. Well, because they listen to people, and this is my third point, that the leaders will need to pay attention to people. Maybe we'll have the opportunity to talk about this later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Binkowski, please.
Okay, so thank you for inviting me for the channel. So my perspective is a little bit, obviously I can agree with many things you have said, but I'm looking a little bit more on the situation from the technology revolution and social revolution we are going through. I think internet has been introduced nearly 20 years ago, 25 years ago, as a thing which was used broadly. And what I think, we are living in a world which is a parallel world. We start to live in a virtual world, which is the world of permanent connectivity, internet, discussion forums, social networks, whatever. And then we have the real world we were used to live. I think our perspective on leaders is still, and the statement maybe that the end of the power and end of leadership is related to the old world, while the future will request from us and require from us completely different style of leadership. And I think we are moving more and more to the real topic, which is democracy, because the democracy we were living in the past was at the end of the day still very limited democracy, even from the communication point of view. Nobody was aware of the things, they were all limited. You could channel information, you could link it much more. Today, a leader who wants to be a leader, who wants to be a leader in this parallel world, which we are learning to live in, needs to be a leader end to end. He cannot be only a subject or good leader on the battlefield like Napoleon. He has to be a personality end to end, which is basically not untouchable. So I'm always looking at, and sorry for mentioning this case, but I'm looking at the case of Mr. Strauss-Kahn, who was a great, I think it was a great leader when it comes to leading the International Monetary Fund. But he failed on a completely different field, which was not in the area of his competency. And today, who is talking about him? Yeah, okay, but who is talking about him, how he was running the International Monetary Fund? Nobody. The only thing which left is the negative story. And I treat it as an example for you need, in order to be a leader today, you are exposed on every moment of your life. You are just watched, and this is also in the business. If you are if you think you can close your organization, your firm, your company, and say nothing gonna leak out, so you can do whatever you want there, it's not gonna happen. You are exposed to many, many other things because of the technology, the revolution on communication. So I think, to summarize, we now have to learn to live in the new reality, which is a completely different, non-hierarchical reality, and the leaders of the future will be completely different than we were used to see in the past. Okay? That's mine.
Thank you very much. François?
Okay.
It's your time.
Of course, it's difficult to speak after my neighbor, and especially because he's a real example of the future. His company starts with the technical revolution, and is already in a project which is what will happen in the next few years. As a company who started 50 years ago, we are facing other challenges. But speaking to the end of power, and referring to this book where they explain that Reagan has less power than Obama, etc., I think it is the movement of the whole history of the world. On every century, you can see that democracy is winning. In France, was royalty, with aristocrat, with the church, with the tiers état, and then the revolution. And in fact, what is changing today, it is the speed of change because of the revolution of technology. I just read a book where he was saying that an entrepreneur 50 years ago, 60 years ago, in one day, take one decision, when today you have to take 22 decisions. So the mass and the change of this information put that the world is for us more uncertain. Planification is not the solution. We are more often exposed to, I know what should I have been, I know what I should have done, but I'm not sure what I have to do now. And is why all the style of the leadership, of the way to drive the company will be impacted. We will changing now, and it is, for instance, for my company, a big challenge, which was built on a pyramidal structure, to go now on the network structure. The organization we get before, it was the easiest and faster way to link a set of people, in a shorter time. It is the pyramidal one. And now, with the explosion of the know-how, you have all the people connecting each other, so the leadership cannot be the same. And so the leader changed, the role of the leader changed. On the strategic point of view, he must be focused that today is not tomorrow, tomorrow is not yesterday, it would be easier. And he must be focused on the